What the heck are 1099s, and do I need to file them as a real estate investor? What's up, y'all? Welcome to Lionshare Bookkeeping, Landlord CFO. I'm Ben Day, and today we want to talk about the truth behind real estate accounting, finance, back office, and tech. And today we're going to fully dive into one of the most painful parts of being a bookkeeping business, and that is filing 1099s. And so if you aren't using a bookkeeper or your CPA is not filing 1099s for you, you need to be paying attention to this, and you need to apply this as soon as you possibly can in your business, because that deadline is coming. Today, technically, is January the 3rd of 2021, which means all of your 1099s are going to be due from 2020 in less than 30 days. And so you absolutely have to be doing something about this right now. You cannot sleep on your 1099s. You need to watch this video. Listen, what the U.S. government likes to do is they like to make sure that everybody's holding each other accountable, and they like to get paid taxes, right? Like we've been doing this. Like, this is how the government works, right? They like making sure that they get their taxes. So that means that W-2s have taxes withheld, and it's easy to tell if you didn't pay enough taxes, and they send you forms and fines and penalties. With contractors, though, when you're paying contractors, when you're earning money as a small business, it isn't as obvious. Like, there isn't a W-2 that you get from payroll processing and all of that when you're a contractor. It's not automated. What you are supposed to do instead is file the Form 1099. And in 2021, there's now 2 of those. There's definitely there's going to be multiple iterations of this that changes all the time. It gets very in the weeds. I'm not worried about that right now. If you need technical help with that, check out the link in our comment section below. Comment, ask your questions. We're happy to give you the feedback that we need in order to help you get through this 1099 season. But effectively in this, what we see is that the government is asking for businesses to effectively tattletale on people that they pay money to. So if you pay my company $1,000 for a service, it is now your responsibility to tell the IRS that you paid me. That is what a 1099 is. At the end of the day, you would file a 1099 to the IRS saying, hey, I paid Ben Day $1,000. Then I would get a copy of that 1099, and then I would have to submit that with the rest of my tax return saying, yes, they did pay me $1,000, and yes, I am going to end up having to owe taxes on that because I'm running an honest business and I'm not trying to dodge my tax bill. That is how this should work. Now, if you're a real estate investor, you know that there are plenty of vendors out there that do not want to give you their tax information. They don't want a 1099. They don't want to pay taxes. They want to get paid under the table. Just because they don't want to do that doesn't mean that you can skip the 1099 process. You are required to file a 1099. If you do not file 1099s, you will owe penalties. Even though it's their taxes, you will owe penalties for not filing that form. So it is critical that you file those and you get them done, and you get them done appropriately. And what this is going to do is make sure that you're only doing business with professionals who do high quality work, that will be around for the long run, that have systems and processes in play. It's going to help you build a better business long term if you work with folks that are willing to run their business like a business as well. So our tips on this 1099 process: how do you make sure that you actually get this done and get it done right? At the end of the day, we really have 3 important things that you need to be handling all the time. Number 1 is always get the Form W-9 filled out. If you've ever had a W-2 paying job before, you've also filled out what's called a W-4. And that W-4 is just like your name, your address, your social, how they can get a hold of you, like stuff like that, right? Well, a W-9 is exactly the same. It's just geared towards independent contractors and small businesses. And so whether they are in the States as a sole prop, or maybe they're incorporated, doesn't matter how big that company is, you should be trying to get a W-9 from every single person you pay. And honestly, like, if you end up going to Home Depot and asking them for a W-9, they're going to say, you don't need that from us. You're crazy. And that's fine. That's okay, because at least you've been diligent enough to ask the question and you got a response. And now you know you can go back and tell your bookkeeper, your CPA, whoever's filing your 1099s for you, hey, they said that we didn't need one from them and we're good here, right? That's always possible. It's always better to be safe than sorry with this, because again, you don't want to have to pay upwards of $200 because you didn't ask a question and forgot to file a form. That's just a bad time, right? So always get your W-9s and get them up front from everyone. What we'll see most often is that you'll hire a contractor for a job, they do a bad job, you decide not to hire them again, there's bad blood, and then at the end of the year, when we say, hey, where's that W-9? You say, there's no way that guy's given me anything. And then you're just kind of hosed, right? And then you have this whole other process that you need to go through that's just fundamentally miserable. So you need to make sure that you get it up front, like before you pay people, and especially before a job is complete, you need to make sure that you get W-9s from your vendors. So maybe that's right when you hire them, you have them fill out a W-9. Or if you forget, before you pay them their last check, you get the W-9 from them, just saying, hey, we've got some clerical work left over. So you've got time to kind of like strategize on collecting this information, but you need it in order to make the best decision. Now, from there, once you have that W-9, you're able to determine, okay, are they an incorporated business or just a regular business? So like, are they getting taxed as an LLC that's passed through, or are they getting taxed as a corporation, like a C Corp, where they are double taxed? And 99% of the time, nobody is double taxed because we hate that, right? But if they are, it's good to know. So always get a W-9. I don't care how much money you're paying them or not paying them. Always get one. Always better to be safe than sorry. Number 2 then on our list is to stop paying vendors through personal payment platforms like PayPal or Venmo and all that junk. And here's where this gets dicey, and here's why this is important for me, right? We run a bookkeeping business. We're doing 1099s. And what we get to do, we have the honor and privilege of trying to figure out, okay, so you paid this person through PayPal, but did you pay them through the friends and family PayPal or the business PayPal? Because the business PayPal takes a fee, but the business PayPal will also do the 1099 for that vendor for us effectively. But if you paid them friends and family, now we have to file it, but we have to begin to figure out all of that information. And these personal payment platforms make it really, really, really hard to figure that out. We're just hair pulling all the time. So if you want to have more sanity in your 1099 season, pay people through professional platforms. Yeah, you might have to pay a fee, or your vendor might have to pay a fee, or pay them by check so that you don't have to pay fees, whatever it is. But you want to make sure, if you want an easy 1099 season, you just need to make sure that you know exactly how those people are getting paid, so that you know exactly what number to put on a form, so that you can file your 1099s correctly and not get in trouble. And again, like this, it just cannot be said enough. The online payment methods like Venmo or Zelle or personal PayPal, like friends and family PayPal, all of that stuff just makes this really convoluted. And full disclosure here, if you go and read your terms and conditions, there in each one of those platforms and systems, it says that this is not for business use at all. And so if you decide to bend the rules here, like, that's on you. Your account could get shut down. It's just a bad time all the way through. You need to be running your business like a business. If you want this piece of your business to be easy, you need to make sure that you're only using those tools the way they're meant to be used. So please, my other tip for you is to stop using personal payment platforms, just for your own sanity and because technically you're violating terms and conditions. Tip number 3 on our list then is to keep great records, actually do your bookkeeping, and file your 1099s before the end of January. What we do is we kind of just time block out, in my bookkeeping business, we time block out huge swaths of time in January just for 1099s. We go through every vendor. We look at all the rules and regulations on how to file these. There's plenty of them. We put together our lists. We look for the W-9s. We collect the W-9s, and like our clients will pay us a fee to file on their behalf, and we manage all of that. We manage to get all of that done before the deadline. If you're going to do this yourself, I would recommend sooner rather than later, and you definitely cannot wait on your bookkeeping. This is not something where you can kick this can down the road. If you're somebody who likes to file extensions and not get your bookkeeping done until June or any of that, like, you're not going to get your 1099s done correctly. I guarantee that's not going to happen. So you need to be proactive about your record keeping. If you can be done with your actual bookkeeping for the year at the beginning of January, and like, you know what your financial year was like in January, then you can file forms In January, you can get any W-2s, W-9s, 1098s, all that stuff in February, file your business return in March or your personal return in April, and be done. All right. 1099s is just an excellent opportunity for you to make sure that your bookkeeping processes are in play well enough to get everything done and file your taxes on time, if not early, every year. So our third tip really is like, make sure that your bookkeeping is rock solid so that you can get these done before the deadline and you're not going to owe any penalties. Listen, this is a lot of information. 1099s, like the rules change, the forms change, all of that. Let us know in the comment section below what other questions you have about this as it pertains right now or in the future. We'll be happy to help you out. Thank you so much. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.